According to Global Food Security Index, the Philippines' progress in achieving food security, which has been slow, and it has only achieved moderate food security since 2012. In 2020, the country achieved its highest score 61 out of 100 in terms of food security, but it ranked only 64 out of 113 countries. Its score slipped to 59.3 in 2022 due to global economic headwinds, including food price hikes caused of Russia-Ukraine conflict. The Philippines is ahead of some Southeast Asian countries but lags behind others in terms of food security. Food inflation in the Philippines was generally within the target range from 2 to 4% from 2017 to 2021. It recently supply-side shocks caused an increase in food price, particularly in 2018 and 2021. While the rice tariffication law helped stabilize rice price, fish and meat prices continued to rise due to various factors. In November 2022, food inflation sharply increased to 10.3% due to typhoons and the Russia, which may lead to more hunger and hinder progress towards nutrition target. And we'll go to the discusses policies and initiatives to address hunger, nutrition, and food security during the pandemic and ongoing conflict, including the National Food Policy, Pilipinas Contra Gutom Campaign, Enhanced Partnership Against Hunger and Poverty Program, the 3P Plant Program or the Plant Program, Financial Assistance to Vulnerable Groups, and the Masustansyang Pagkain para sa Batang Pilipino Act. The food security and the nutrition face challenges like natural disaster, conflict, logistical issues, inadequate storage, and government regulations. The digital limits access to nutritious food and poor feeding practices and limited access to health services hinder nutrition improvement. LGU's inadequate resources aggravate the situation and the strategic frameworks. The government, private sectors, and the stakeholders in the Philippines will work together to achieve food security and proper nutrition for all the citizens. The outcome number 1 is the sufficient and stable supply of food commodities attained, or the boost productivity and resilience of the local agriculture and fisheries sectors. And the outcome number 2 is to access of consumers to affordable, safe, and nutritious food expanded, or to promote private investment in facilities, transport, and logistics system to bring safe and nutritious food closer to consumers. The outcome number 3 is the nutrition across all ages improved. Adopt a whole society approach in promoting healthy lifestyle and a culture of active health-seeking behavior among Filipinos across age, groups, and income classes.
Good day everyone, I'm here to present to you the subchapter 3.2, which is the strengthening social protection of the chapter 3, which is the reduce vulnerabilities and protect purchasing power of the Philippine Development Plan that was approved on the second day of September, year 2010. These are the assessment and challenges. The article discusses the strides made the Philippines in social protection since 2007, including the introduction of various social programs and legislations. However, the article also highlights the weaknesses of the social protection system during the COVID-19 pandemic, such as the lack of comprehensive database and a digital ID system. Furthermore, the article notes that government spending on social protection program is low compared to other developing countries, and access to this program is largely uneven, with households in bottom 40% consistently registering lower coverage. The article concludes that there is a need for a special social protection program for marginalized and vulnerable sectors such as persons with disabilities, migrant Filipinos, indigenous people, and children with conflict situation. And now we will discuss the strategic framework. The PDP 2023 to 2028 is a plan for economic transformation in the Philippines toward a prosperous, inclusive, and resilient society. One key strategy is to implement a rationalized and integrated social protection system that will help Filipinos manage risk from economic uncertainties, natural or human-induced hazard, or political circumstances. Outcome number 1. A universal, modern, and integrated social protection system achieved. These are the 5 key points of this outcome. The government aims to create a comprehensive and integrated approach to social protection programs and service through National Social Protection Framework or NSPF. The coverage of social protection programs will be expanded to include all poor and vulnerable Filipinos, including those in the informal sector and those affected by disasters, conflict, and other shocks. Social protection agencies such as the SWD will be strengthened to effectively manage and implement social protection programs. The targeting mechanism of social protection programs will be improved to ensure the resources are directed to those who need them the most. The government will also use technology to deliver social protection services and promote the need of marginalized groups. This is the second outcome, mitigating individual and life cycle risk. 5 key points. The government will establish cash grants for persons with disabilities to help cover their special expenses, and they will also receive mandatory membership coverage and appropriate benefit from the Social Health Insurance Program or the PhilHealth. Laws protecting women will be strengthened, and efforts will be made to disseminate information about women's rights and encourage women's victims of violence to seek help. The investigation and prosecution process for crimes against women will be also streamlined. The government will increase the provisions of social protection programs in geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas, utilizing NGOs and civil society sectors to reach people in this area. Filipino who will migrate overseas will be ensured proper and legal documentation, and the enforcement of bilateral and regional agreements will be strengthened. A comprehensive approach will be taken to eradicate child labor, focusing on economic, social, and psychological aspects. Programs will also address issues such as online sexual abuse and exploitation. Mental health and psychosocial services will be provided to children in various situations. This is the third outcome, economic risk managed. These are the 5 key points. The coverage and benefit of unemployment insurance schemes will be improved by evaluating existing programs and suggesting options to increase coverage and benefits. A committee composed of national agencies and local governments will be established guidelines and standards for livelihood and public works programs, including Cash for Work initiative to rationalize them. The Department of Agriculture, or DA, will revise and improve the registry system for basic sector in agriculture to create an accurate list of beneficiaries eligibly for free insurance provided by the Philippine Crop Insurance Corporation, which will expand coverage and improve agricultural insurance products. The Philippine government will review and reorganize the existing programs for overseas Filipino workers or OFWs into a comprehensive package that provides information in various options and opportunities available to OFWs upon their return to the country. The Department of Migrant Workers will establish a one-stop shop to guide returning OFW in their choices. This is the fourth outcome, natural, health, climate, and other human-induced hazard mitigated. These are the 3 main points. The Philippine government planned to improve emergency response efforts by strengthening the coordination and collaboration among various stakeholders involved in sustainability, climate change, and disaster risk reduction and management programs. They will ensure the provision of gender-sensitive and child-friendly mental health and psychosocial services to victims of disasters, establish permanent and resilient evacuation center, and partner with the private sector to introduce necessary health-related products in responding to the pandemic and other health hazards. The government will implement the Adaptive Shocks Responsive Roadmap and develop anticipatory delivery mechanism for various types of disaster and emergencies, using early warning mechanism and shock-responsive social protection programs to address emergency. This is the outcome number 5 and the last. Governance and political risk address. These are the 4 main points. The government will incorporate safety nets in development projects to mitigate negative impact on affected sector of society. The government will provide anticipatory programs to address the need of internally displaced persons and persons of concern in situations of violence and conflict. The government will strengthen the implementation of Executive Order 163 and RA 11188 to ensure protection services for persons of concern and special protection for children in situation of armed conflict. The government will provide necessary human and financial resources to implement the new executive order and law. Ambition 2030 provides a long-term vision that guides the development of policies and programs that promote inclusive growth, poverty reduction, and social protection. The PDP's strategy for reducing vulnerabilities and protect purchasing power aligns with Ambition 2030's goals of creating a prosperous, predominantly middle-class society by 2040. By setting ambitious goals for economic and social development, Ambition 2030 provides a framework for the PDP to design interventions that contribute to the country's long-term goals while also addressing short-term challenges.